So we're going to head over to the casino, Havasu Landing. Unfortunately, it takes us from the Arizona side back over to the California side, but it's only $4 round trip, so we're going to jump on it, take a ride. I'll shoot a little B-roll, and let's talk a little bit about what's happening in this economy. Things are really getting ugly, and as I'm here today in Lake Havasu, it's pretty quiet. Take a look. Real quiet out there today. Not a lot of boats. A lot of boat rentals here, and a lot of the boat rentals just sitting. It is a weekday, so granted, but it seems pretty quiet out here. I think they're definitely feeling it. And even the hotel, we're staying over at the Heat, really cool place. But let me tell you, they are not putting any money into it. You're watching, and look, I like that. I like the Heat. We've stayed there a number of times, but you can tell that they're not putting money back into the resort. The grounds are really falling apart. It's not being maintained. Lots of the property needs to be pressure washed. Carpets need to be cleaned. It takes forever to get anything done over there. Even though service is great, it's quiet. It's really cool place. And I highly recommend it. If you come to Havasu, go to the Heat. But you can tell that they are not putting money back into the resort. Why is that? Is business not what it used to be, such as how it was a year ago? But it looks to me like some of these places out here really need some upkeep. And it tells me that things have probably been not good here for more than a year. But a lot of the little knick-knack stores, little restaurants here, real quiet. But we'll jump on the boat here, take a ride over to the casino, see what's going on there. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. Stay tuned. Thank you. Before we head back to Havasu, I was reading an article by Michael Snyder today. Brilliant guy. He has a website called The Economic Collapse. And this article was on The Hedge today. And I'm just going to go over some of the data points here that Michael Snyder makes. And many of you may already know this, many of you may not. But this to me means it is critical that we are all preparing. This collapse is happening right before your very eyes, and it's going to continue to happen right before your very eyes. But Michael goes on to say this in the first data point: 35% of small business owners in the U.S. could not pay their rent in full or on time in June. So when you go to a mall, when you go to a strip center, wherever you go, think about that. 35% of small business owners did not pay their rent or did not pay their rent in full in June. That is a number that it has to be historic. Just take a listen to that data point. 35% of small business owners in June couldn't pay their rent or didn't pay it in full. What does that tell you about the economy? These people out there who believe everything is okay. Again, I'm not judging anybody, but I'm observing anybody that thinks that this is normal. These people need help. He goes on, 51% of small business owners in the U.S. believe that rising prices could force them to close their businesses within 6 months. We're going to see a lot of small businesses close in 6 months, no doubt about it. 45% of small businesses in the US have already decided to freeze hiring of new workers. We're going to see the pendulum swing here, ladies and gentlemen. At some point, people are going to be begging for a job because the system's not going to be there to help you. And a lot of people are going to figure out that when they cannot eat, when their kids cannot eat, they're going to have to take jobs below what they thought they would ever do. They're going to take jobs they never thought they would do. They're going to do things they never thought humanly possible just to feed themselves, feed their families. How quickly we're going to see things accelerate here in the U.S. Sales of previously owned homes dropped 5.4% during the month of June. 5 months in a row of declines. We've talked about this numerous times. We're going to see big problems in tech, big problems in real estate, big problems in retail. It's just endless. We're going to see an endless amount of problems. Redfin reported 25% of home sellers reduced their asking price in June. I hope all of you are paying attention to these data points. This is why I'm preparing. This is why you're preparing. These problems are not going to go away. They're going to escalate. Blackstone has prepared a war chest. We talked about this last week. A war chest of $50 billion to buy your house. They're going to scoop up as much depressed real estate as possible. And you need to be thinking like a hedge fund, a central bank, a private equity firm. This is how you've got to be thinking. You've got to get your war chest in order. People with debt, people with no capital, they're going to be the ones that continue to lose the cars, the houses. These are the people who are going to be on the verge of homelessness if they're not careful. The number of Americans applying for jobless benefits has risen to the highest level in 8 months. Last week, 251,000 people filed first-time jobless claims. Employment postings for software development jobs have dropped by more than 12% in just the last 4 weeks. Think about that. It's just an incredible, incredible number. We talked about this next data point just a couple days ago. S&P Global Flash US PMI Composite Output Index just went negative for the first time since the last recession. Here's another one. The Atlanta Fed is now projecting that the U.S. growth for the second quarter will come in at negative 1.6%. Repeat, negative 1.6%. That puts us in technical recession. There is no doubt that the stage is clearly set for an economic meltdown. And that meltdown, more than likely, is going to occur at the end of this year or at some point beginning to mid next year. Nobody really knows, but we're watching things melt down daily. You're watching the collapse take place daily. And anybody not preparing, I think, is just being ignorant. You are ignorant, in my opinion, if you do not see the danger right now, especially if you have kids. You need to be taking precautionary steps right now to protect them every which way possible. And if you get wiped out financially, how are you going to feed them? How are you going to house them? How are you going to protect them? There's just so many things happening right now across the globe, right here in the U.S. And if you look at the crisis in the automotive sector right now, we've never seen a delinquency rate like the one we're seeing right now in autos, which is basically 6 to 12 months ahead of housing. So use what's happening in the auto market with the amount of repossessions right now of subprime and prime loans, people losing their cars. The delinquency rate throughout America, state by state by state, is absolutely off the charts. It's epic. It's a historic number. Utah was the healthiest state in regards to auto repossessions at 4.5%. Think about that. That's the best state. 4.5% of new car loans being repossessed. 4.5% Utah. That's the healthiest state. You look at Washington, D.C., 24%. Alabama, 15%. I think Texas was around 9%. Arizona was around 8.79%. I mean, think about that statistic right there, how many people are in jeopardy of losing their cars, 30, 60, 90 days behind right now. So there's no doubt we're going to see a tsunami of layoffs coming. Those people are not going to pay rent, mortgages, or car payments. They're going to lose their jobs, and most people do not have a cash reserve put away for 6 to 12 months. We're going to see a stunning decline in home prices. People are going to begin to lose equity in their homes. We're going to see a large number of small businesses go under, as we've already seen over 200,000 small businesses wiped out in the last 18 months. And we're going to see a spike in bankruptcies in the business sector, corporate, small business, and individuals, households filing bankruptcy. This is going to be, no doubt, the biggest economic meltdown we have ever seen in the United States, and probably the biggest economic meltdown that we've ever seen on planet Earth. And if you're not preparing for it, you will lose. And if you do nothing, you're going to be a statistic and a victim of this meltdown. So I cannot stress this enough to all of you to do something right now. Take action and get prepared. We're out here today, beautiful weather, just taking a break. And it is noticeable, in my opinion. Not a lot of people here, very noticeable. Looking at some of the properties have not been maintained. So what does this look like 12 months from now, 18 months from now? Big changes are coming, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, there is going to be a wealth transfer. There will be a reset. Unfortunately, for most people, they're going to lose their wealth. And during the reset, their standard of living is going to be taken from them. And they have no idea what is coming. So prepare the best that you can. I know most of you watching this know exactly what's going on. You're taking the proper steps to prepare. Continue doing what you're doing. We are living in very, very dangerous times, and people have no idea that their pensions are in jeopardy, Social Security is in jeopardy, their savings is in jeopardy, their dollar is in jeopardy, their stocks are in jeopardy, bonds are in jeopardy, the equity in their homes is in jeopardy. Everything is in jeopardy. So my advice to most people is get all your debts paid off, put a cash reserve away, and make sure you have assets, tangible hard assets that you can get to. Gold, silver, barterable items, food, water, security, everything across the board. Make sure you have all of this, because you know, when things crash, you will only have what you're holding. Things on a computer screen, things on a bank, digits on a screen, you may not be able to get to them. They may have no value whatsoever. The only thing that will have value is what you can get to with your hands that day, that minute. That's the only thing that has value. The food, the water, the gold, the silver, the cash, not the computer screen, not the digits, not the bank accounts. It's all gone. So heading back to the hotel, just got off the boat. Pretty big monsoon coming in. A lot of rain out there. Serious storm out there. Most of you watching this video will already have seen Jerome Powell raise the Fed's fund rate when this video airs. Now, I believe it's going to be 75 basis points. I could be wrong. It could be 1 full percentage point. I don't think that Jerome Powell has the guts that Paul Volcker did, and that's why I believe when you watch this video that he will have raised the Fed's fund rate 75 basis points. Could be 100 basis points. I believe it's going to be 75. I don't think he has the guts. But it doesn't really matter because he is so far behind. We are going to continue to just chase inflation. And what it's going to do, raising these rates with these small amounts, he should be raising rates now over a full percentage point every month. But what he's going to do is continue to kill off the U.S. economy while allowing interest rates to continue to climb, continue to eat people's savings, continue to cost you more at the grocery store, the gas station, and continue to destroy small business. Either you get out in front of this thing, or we're just gonna continue to chase inflation while raising rates while they're buying bonds and stocks at the other end. I think this ends really bad, folks, and it's another reason why all of us must continue to prepare. New home sales plunge in June as Pulte Homes, one of the largest home builders in the U.S., admits order cancellations are soaring. New home sales plunged 8.1% in June month over month. Median new home prices tumbled 9.5% month over month. This is the biggest drop in median home prices since September 2014. Pulte Homes admits buyers have hit the wall. The home builders' cancellation rate more than doubled to 15% in the second quarter from 7%. There's never been a better time to cancel an escrow, ladies and gentlemen, and I really do mean that. CNBC, home builders are boosting incentives as they suddenly struggle to sell homes. They're going to be looking for suckers now. They're going to be, wanting to give you a boat, an RV, free appliances, anything to get you in a home now. Sales of newly built homes fell 8% in June from the prior month and were 17% lower than June of 2021. Follow the trend here, ladies and gentlemen. I truly believe that if you're in an escrow right now, this is a great time to cancel the escrow. If you're looking for a home, it's a great time to keep piling up cash, keep your powder dry, and sit on the sidelines. Inventory rose to a 9.3 month supply, up from 5.6 months at the end of last year. CNBC, most investors and economists see rate hikes causing a recession, CNBC survey finds. No, let me tell you what really has caused the recession. It's a decade of nearly 0% interest rates. It's pumping $5 trillion into the economy and into the markets in just 2 years. And everybody being told to stay at home and do absolutely nothing. How about corporate buybacks too? Do you think that might have added to this whole disaster? Nobody wants to take responsibility for this. But when you print tons and tons of money, tell people not to produce anything, what do you think you're going to get? You're going to produce massive amounts of inflation. And now we're going to pay the price for this inflation. We've been paying it. We're going to continue to pay it. And when you watch this video, more than likely 75 basis points, maybe 100. Who cares? It's too little, too late. You need to prepare for runaway inflation. Shopify stock sinks 16% and will lay off 10% of workers. How come we're not watching these markets collapse with the amount of layoffs that we're seeing at banks, in tech, trucking companies closing? We're hearing about a railroad strike. We've got ships piling up at the port. I mean, we are in a disaster, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope that you're preparing, that you're getting your life raft ready, because this ship is sinking. I wanted to just go over that with you today because I truly believe that we are going to see a massive real estate crash in America. And they can continue to try and prop up these markets the best that they can. But when real estate goes, it's game over. Real estate is going to take it all down. Just think about what is connected, the industries connected to real estate. When it goes, it is taking it all down. All the banks, hedge funds, pensions, private investment money, public investment money that is involved in real estate, invested in real estate, commercial real estate bonds, all this vacant real estate, all these new homes coming to market that they're not going to be able to sell. This is going to be catastrophic. So keep your powder dry, save up a pile of cash, get your debts paid off, buy some assets, and get ready. There's going to be huge discounts, huge sales. Be ready for it. So as I wrap it up here, remember, most things that you're seeing on the television are a lie. They're going to try to sucker people into these markets, the stock market. They're going to try to sucker you into the housing market. They're going to try to sucker you into the auto market. This is now not the time to be just buying stuff. This is not the time to be gambling, to be speculating. I think now is really the time to hunker down, get small, keep your powder dry, save up as much cash as you can, and prepare. And so be very, very careful what you are believing. But I think we can all believe that this economy is sinking. This economy is collapsing. And I believe that you need to get ready and that you should be preparing for it. That's what I'm doing. That's what people I know are doing. And I know most of you are doing that right now. Again, don't get suckered into the illusion. Don't get suckered into the matrix. Be very, very careful. There's going to be a lot of losers here. A good friend of mine once told me many years ago when I was in Las Vegas, you see all these beautiful casinos, all these beautiful resorts. Yes, they were not built by winners. They were built by losers. Look at these banks, the ivory towers, the billion-dollar bankers. A lot of this will have been built by losers and the suckers who believed the system. Be careful and cautious of the system, ladies and gentlemen. It is hanging on by a thread. God bless you all. Look very forward to talking with all of you very, very soon. God bless.